breaks. I lived for them. I loved them. I played hard. And I took advantage of every moment I had. One of those things was, of course, I was single, making a buck, and in my late 20s, so I knew what I wanted to do, and that was chase tourists. So if I wasn't up in a harness, I was in one of the local tourist traps trying to find a tourist and take her up to our harness. Well, there were many, many times that you had fun and many, many times you didn't. But one of the good times I had was there was a going away party, a Yasu deal party, and it was somebody that was leaving, and they had a house down by, I can't remember the name of the village, but where everyone went at that particular time, and it was the hot spot. And they had a house right on the water, and so it was a typical military party. There were maybe 150 guys and 3 women. And after we got drunk enough, a group of us decided we'd go up a couple of 100 yards away and see if we could find some tourist women and bring them down to the party. So we were walking along the road there. My pitch to these women was that, well, you can go in there and get really bothered by these Greek men, pay outrageous money for a drink, or you can come down here and you can drink for free and just get bothered by some drunk Americans. Well, it worked. A lot of women came down. We had a good time. It started filling up with women. One of the women that came down, it was a couple of women that I met, and I talked to them, and they were hesitant. But they came down, and I was kind of attracted to them, and I was dancing with them as best I could without falling over. And long story short, I really made a really bad impression, but I was really, really liked one of these women. So I pleaded, I said, please, next day, let me show you that I'm really not this way. I'll pick you up and I'll take you out to dinner and I'll show you some different parts about Crete. Yeah, okay, they're saying okay. A couple of Norwegians. Well, next day, I go to the hotel, I meet them. No, they're not there. Why am I surprised? What they didn't expect, though, is I just sat there and I waited and I waited. 11:30, they came back to the hotel. And I said, hi. Shocks of disbelief, and what are they going to do? And I said, listen, I'm not drunk, and I would like to make up for last night, take you out to dinner, show you a few things. Have you eaten? Yes, we've eaten. Well, let's just go somewhere. I haven't eaten. You can have something to drink. So things got a little better, and we had a good evening, and I said, how about tomorrow I show you some of the island? And I took them up to Achanis. If you remember, Achanis is my favorite village. One of the other things I liked about Achanis, besides the cognac, is the grilled platters they had there. People talk about Park Chalk Hill. The best grilled platter in the world was in Achanis, in my estimation. You could go to a taverna there, and I could have my cognac, you could drink your wine, you could have your beer, and they bring out a platter that was 3 feet across, and there were all these different cuts of meat on it, different types of chops. But one of the things that I really enjoyed and been eating for a couple of years were the meatballs that were on this. They're the best grilled meatballs I could. So I'm there with these 2 Norwegians, and I'm talking to them and tell them how much I enjoy the food. And try the meatballs. And so one of them asked me, so what is the meatball? What is it? I said, I really don't know. Well, ask someone. So I called over the waiter, and my little bit of Greek, I was trying to ask him what the meatball is. And I didn't understand what he was saying. And I'm puzzled. I'm trying to work out the words, and it didn't make sense. Another Greek at another table was picking up on what was going on, and his English was pretty good. And he came over and said, you don't know what he's saying, do you? I said, no, what is this? Well, those meatballs are goat testicles. Well, needless to say, they never tasted quite the same. And they had a laugh at my expense, but we drove back out of the village that night. I saw them again. I ended up seeing both of them for the week. And one of these women is now my wife of 20-some years, 2 children, and that's why I believe that Crete is one of the best places in the world, and Norwegian women are too.